with us. So
yeah,
no
we're going to have your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over. Right. You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
well.
It sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free.
Right.
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you guys are having a good time out there. We've had some really nice action in some of the different cryptos we've been following. So we're going to talk about that. Obviously, general crypto and Pulsechain are just down slightly. So we're going to check the markets on that. But some of the ones that we were looking at yesterday with our interview with Eric there from Dragon X is up tremendously overnight again. And getting some big coverage. So, it was pretty cool if you didn't check out that interview yesterday. Brennan says, how do you see a great interview yesterday? Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we're trying to do a few more interviews now and then with some good teams. So, going very well. Cool. And of course, people on Strategy Club benefiting hugely from that. So, big shout out to Strategy Club. If you haven't joined Strategy Club, the link's in the video description. $35 a month, very good value. We're looking for some of the best opportunities, multi-chain as part of a diversified crypto portfolio, looking for the winners and not the, so that's kind of the play. Get into it, folks. Don't forget to get into the chat as well. Make it lively. Always like to get the chat going really, really good. So let's get into it without further ado. Let's kick it off with the stock market. Stock market there. Good news on the CPI. Yesterday we covered the PPI, the Producers Price Index, is kind of the wholesale price level. That was better than expectations, so inflation was cooling. Today we got the headline number, the CPI, the retail inflation, the Consumer Price Index there, and of course that was better than expectations as well. So inflation continues to cool. Very, very good news, and of course that will feed into interest rate cuts in September. We've got the Dow has gone like the news, and it went above 40,000 again on the Dow Jones. Remember, Dow Jones is the top 30 industrial stocks that are in that list. And of course, we see the Dow Jones there up 0.6%, 242 points to 40,008. So very nice move there. We got the S&P 500 is up 0.4%, 21 points to 5,455. We got the Nasdaq is pretty flat. It's got all the tech companies in it. 1.44 points to 17,189. So that is the where the markets ended. The dollar at the moment index just very small amount, 102.45 in the US dollar index. Looking at commodities, we can see West Texas oil per barrel is up 0.25%, or almost a third of a percent, up at 24 cents to $77. Brent oil is pretty flat, is up slightly at $79.98, so pretty much around $80. Gold at the moment up 0.3%, $7.35 to $2,486, and we got silver up 1% at 27 cents to $27.60 at the moment. And of course, this feed in with the inflation, likely to feed into interest rate pivot that will likely devalue the US dollar, and therefore silver and that will go up in value. So we're expecting a rally in crypto, but we'll probably get a commodity rally as well. So kind of cool. Let's have a look at that news on CPI. So US Consumer Price Index slowed to 2.9% pace from a 3% pace in June. Compared to the economist estimates of 3%, so 2.9%, much better. Remember, their target is 2%. Stripping out more volatile items like food and fuel, the core number climbed by 3.2% in the 12 months to July, below projections of 3.3%. Report came just days after the cooler than expected July producer price index. They added to the signs that the Fed policies are working to bring down inflation. The Fed has been desperate for signs of the impact of their rate hikes on demand and inflation, and they have finally started to see it since May. Now, the thing is, will they overshoot? Obviously, getting that September pivot is going to be pretty important. So that is kind of the news there. We're going to have a quick look at the calendar there for when the next meeting is. Let's just go to economic. We have got retail sales tomorrow, and of course, that's going to be important. So let's have a look at the data tomorrow. So tomorrow, we've got initial jobless claims. We're going to beat 236,000. It's going to be important. And we've got retail sales. It's going to be important too there on the demand side for inflation. So those two different indices will also be important tomorrow. So let's see. Hopefully they keep the momentum going so that the markets keep going up this year, because we want to get that bull market in crypto. Yeah, that's the play. All right, let's jump into the what's the next calendar meeting. We've got the Fed rate monitor. Let's see what that's looking like at the moment, giving an idea of interest rates. We've got 4 days, basically 5 weeks, just under 5 weeks to go until the Fed meeting. So still a long time to go. A lot of volatility potentially between that time period. And yeah, that's on the 18th September. At the moment, we're looking at 64% of the market expecting a 25 basis rate cut, 36% expecting a 50 basis points. So that's half a percentage point. I think I'm still in that camp of 50 basis points. We shall see where that heads. And of course, looking forward to cuts in November as well. Now, looking at trading view, we can see that we've got the S&P 500. I've got this on the last 5 years. We can see the S&P 500 is still going up, and that's good news for us. It has sort of like made a top here. December 21, it was at 4,766, and then we had another top here so far, 5,522, 1st of July. So we want that to keep going up for our crypto bull run, right? So we want that wealth effect to play into crypto, and so far so good. So fingers crossed that continues on the upside there. We've got the interest rates as well. You can see that pretty much all this inflation over through the Biden-Harris regime under Trump, pretty low. And of course, you got to remember this is a cumulative inflation. So the total prices of things are probably up 30%, even with the declining rate of inflation. So inflation just slowing down, but still adding to their prices. So pretty disastrous. If the US votes in, obviously Harris, it's going to be crazy. Harris out there making the most hilarious claim. I will deal with inflation. This is with their inflation, folks. I will deal with inflation. She's already the vice president. They're already in control of policies to try and reduce inflation, like government spending and things like that. So you know how it rolls. This is ridiculous. So we have got to hope that we win that election for Trump in November. All right, so that's pretty much it on the inflation line there. Moving to crypto, we got Bitcoin at the moment down. So we actually went down on news. We did see some US dollar, I think, and stablecoins flow out. So it's probably a big reason for that. BTC at the moment, $58,870, down 2.75%. We were over 60K. In fact, we got over 61,000 yesterday. So yeah, shaved that off, unfortunately. Ethereum there at the moment down 1.2% at $2,668. So looked bullish yesterday. That's just tapered off today with a bit of probably a cash exit there. We got Solana down 1.5%, XRP down 1.25%, ADA down 1% as well. I noticed with ADA, apparently BitBoy Ben Armstrong is trying to do a boxing match with Hodgkinson there for ADA, which is just crazy. Hodgkins, he's definitely beyond being able to do any physical fighting like that. So I don't know what's happening there with the Ben Armstrong stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. We got BNB's pretty flat at $524, and Tron there down up 1.5%. So a little bit of nice move there, and Matic up 1% there. So a little bit of green amongst the leaders in the old crypto. Zooming in on Bitcoin. Like I say, yesterday we were up, man. We were up, but not today. This is the hourly chart here. So we were pretty much up to 61,806 on the hourly, and then we just had that big sell-off there in the morning. In the morning, I'm just trying to think of this time zone here. 00 midday. Yeah, so I think that's in the morning. Yeah, in the morning, and of course down it went. So big move down from 61,000 all the way down to 59,400. We've just been sliding since then. Got down to pretty much as low as $58,466. We're back up a little bit there from at the moment. But let's go to the daily. That's the hourly action. Let's go to the daily action on Bitcoin. And we can see the 50-day moving average in yellow there. It's just coming down a little bit. That's $62,039. And we've got the 200-day moving average in blue. That is $59,450. And we're just below that at the moment. But we were strongly above it. We're almost trying to get back over that 50-day. We don't want this to close out, of course, because if we get the yellow line going below the blue line, that's a bit of a death cross, and we don't want that. We'd like to, continue on. Even if we do get death cross, depending on the way the chart looking, it could be short-lived because we're expecting volatility in August, September, and of course then October onwards, expecting the potential bull market rally that we're all looking forward to. Now, obviously, some asset classes are already in crypto already having a little bit of bull run. We talked about that. Dragon X, Titan X yesterday. They're already having the bull run's already started. It's only going to get bigger from here. But in terms of the wider, broader market, that's kind of where we're looking for at the moment. And of course, we're going to have interest rate pivots 18th September, so it's going to be pretty bullish. And of course, a US election on the 5th of November, especially if Trump wins pro-crypto Trump. And we know that the Biden administration is anti-crypto. And of course, anything they say anyway, with a lot of policies that seem like they're really common sense, they won't do them. And they'll just betray people after they get in power again. So that's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with socialists and globalists. Just lies, lies, and more lies as they take power off you and suck you in. That's pretty much it. All right, so let's go to Ethereum at the moment. Ethereum is, let's have a look at it on the hourly. Pretty much moving sideways, had the same pullback at the same time here. We were up all the way up at $2,782. Got pushed all the way down to $2,634. So, and we're back up here at 2,664. Looking at the daily on Ethereum, let's have a look at that. Yeah, we had our death cross, unfortunately, on Ethereum. So we've got the 50-day here at 3,338, the 200-day moving average at 3,069. So, that's about $30 difference here. We had a little death cross on the daily, and we got all pushed all the way back down, as I say, down to 2,000 here only a week or so ago. We managed to bounce back to 2,662. We've obviously got the same macro picture like Bitcoin with interest rates and the US election. That is pretty much where it is. Now, the good news, of course, I've got it in the video title. Even though inflation cools, stocks are up and crypto's down, Morgan Stanley has really pivoted its position. This is bullish for crypto longer term, right? So this is really good news today. It is really, really bullish. We've got, what else? We've got Goldman Sachs holds over 400 million in Bitcoin ETFs. The investment bank says it owns over 400 million in Bitcoin ETFs, according to a recently filed 13F form. Now, I was going to say about this, we know that it was only a couple of weeks ago that Goldman Sachs has activated their 15,000 advisors. And of course, that's also going to build, bring in more money into crypto. It's early days. Well, honestly, but early days, a lot of money is going to come into crypto. And of course, more so under Trump, of course, dramatically so. Yeah, it's going to be fun times. So Goldman Sachs holds positions in a variety of Bitcoin exchange traded funds. The investment bank is in its 13F report disclosed that it holds a position in 7 out of 11 Bitcoin ETFs in the US. So 7 out of 11. Its largest holdings is in iShares Bitcoin Trust, or IBIT. It's $238 million, followed by Fidelity's FBTC. That's $80 million, and then $56 million in Invesco Galaxies, and $35 million in Grayscale's GBTC. It also holds small positions in those other 3 ones there, including ARK. Bitcoin ETF flows continued in the green during the US Tuesday, trading at $4.4 million. Daily record inflow there. Things are still moving really well. The Bitcoin ETF obviously has been astonishing success, says McDermott from Goldman Sachs. So that's pretty cool. Institutions like ours actually see the potential in how it can transform where parts of the financial system can operate in a much more efficient way. And of course, previously, this is a huge pivot, a huge U-turn from Goldman Sachs, because previously Goldman Sachs has said its clients weren't interested in crypto, and now it's got a 400 million position and growing. We do not think it is an investment asset class, said Sharman. And of course, we're not believers in crypto. So what a pivot that is. And of course, as you guys know, if Trump wins, man, it's going to be golden roads for crypto, and more money with a very friendly SEC that's going to give us clear regulation. Everyone thinks that regulation is important as long as it's simple and clear and getting rid of the lawfare that we're currently under with Gary Gensler. So that is pretty much it on that. Moving to the RUNE Protocol on Bitcoin. Obviously, first season for meme coins on Bitcoin, and it's only just starting to heat up, really just starting to heat up. I mean, you guys are still so early, and of course, we've seen some good moves yesterday in some of the RUNE memes there. We saw Bank of Nakamoto Dollar, Isaac, they're all up pretty strongly today. They're still doing not too bad today. We've got Bank of Nakamoto Dollar still up 17%. We've obviously got Pups Worlds up 32%, so another good day. So there's been quite a good move. Now, what the funny thing is, we've got $1 billion cat up 25% as well, so still doing some pretty nice moves here on RUNE Protocol. And of course, some of the interesting stuff is Lobo is finally moving up 17%. So that's one of my favorite ones. They're sitting at number 11. But look, our top pick, Dog Go to the Moon at the moment, not really moving so much at the moment. We had some big buyers coming in. I think it was over 100 million yesterday in terms of volume. 100 million big picked up. In terms of dog tokens, it's sitting only up 2% at the moment. So is this the last time to accumulate? It's at 5 sats at the moment, just sitting there, 297 million market cap. So just sitting at 300 million. Is this thing about to go ballistic? Well, we know that the total amount of holders of dog is it now had 81,191. So that's continued to go up by a couple hundred a day. I think this thing's about to go, legitly up to the right. And obviously the number one RUNE's going to be the number one meme coin. That's the target, right? On the most valuable chain. So at the moment, you can see the total price chart here in sats. You can see it's at 5 sats at the moment. So this accumulation zone probably ending soon. And of course, that upward wedge there about to go big time. So kind of cool. Looking forward to this. A dog still a great pickup. Just one of the things that we cover in the strategy club as well. Link to joining that is in the video description. And of course, $35 a month. Grab that. There's another big winning pick. Once this thing goes, it's going to go. All right. So looking at overall meme coins, we can see at the moment that meme coins are kind of a little bit sluggish across the board. Obviously, with Bitcoin down a percent or two today, we got Dogecoin at the moment sitting at just under 15 billion in market cap for Doge, but it's still up 7% for the week, down 4% for the 24 hours. Everything's kind of a little bit sluggish like that. Still up on the weekly, many of them, except for Dog with Hat is pretty flat at the moment, down 7.7% in the 24 hours. We can sort of go through. So we've got a little bit of gaining, but not much, not your double-digit gains like we're normally used to seeing in meme coins when we got that, when Bitcoin's rolling upwards. But once Bitcoin gets that pivot, it's going to be pretty fun. Now, as you guys know, back to August, September, expecting it to be volatile, so probably not surprising what we're seeing here at the moment. Dog with Cat and Dogs World down 15% for the week, so a big mover down there. Just reset that market cap. Make sure it's ordering properly. And then we got Dog. Yeah, so there we are. Dog with Dog Runes there, just sitting back down here at the moment, up 8% for the week, down 1.7% today. So not too bad, just sitting there. What a wonderful accumulation zone for Dog. Really is fantastic for that big next move. So that's pretty much it. Total market cap for crypto, 2.09 trillion. So down slightly from yesterday, 2%. That is where we are. And we're just going to get us into Pulsechain, day 460. Before we get into that, though, let's catch up in the chat and welcome a few other people in. I hope you guys are all doing well today. Let's see here. We've got Blair in the house there. Hi, all. Good to see you, Blair. Welcome to the chat. We've got Craig Pitt as well. Morning, all. Hey, Craig. Hope you're doing good. And then Wookie. Wookie is sitting on the deck of his chair. Yeah, Wookie's in the middle of the Pacific at the moment, sitting on a deck chair and probably next to a pool or next to his bungalow, living the dream with the sun shining and the ocean swaying. He's enjoying it next to the pool, probably. Big shout out to Wookie, having a good time. We got Bob Wells as well. Hey, all. Quick hello. I get ready for work. Hey, Bob. Hope you're doing well there. Enjoy your day out at work, of course. Get that dirty fiat and accumulate some more crypto. That's how we rock and roll before the bull market party really gets started. Product Review in the house there. Hey, Product Review. Hope you're doing great. Great show today. I appreciate that. So thank you so much. Your channel is really good, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. And who else is down here? Brennan says do some work. Yeah, no, he's by the pool. He can't help himself. He's got cocktails and he's living the dream there. It's just the way it goes. Bob says, I think Wookie means sitting in a chair on a deck. Yeah, now he's in Rarotonga. He's living the dream right now. It's sunny and shiny. If you get into our Discord, go to our non-crypto chat. You can see pictures of him laying back in the look. It looks amazing. Now you guys know that New Zealand's just coming out of our winter, right? So he's having a good time there. Hopefully he just doesn't get a cold when he goes back to the South Island, which is still got coldish temperatures. It's not quite out of the woods yet. So yeah, take care. Keep yourself warm when you get back here, Wookie, because you don't want to get no cold. What else there? Let's see here. Wookie says, "Believe me, Wookie is okay." Let's have a look here. So we're going to jump through some of those comments. All right, so there we go. Bob says, "I love that dirty fiat." Yeah, all right, cool. Let's jump over to Pulsechain, day 460. Can you believe it? We got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0364, and that is a down 1% at the moment, 36% of the mean sacrifice price. Pulsechain, now these it was looking pretty good yesterday, obviously down like the rest of crypto. Pulsechain at the moment is down 2.65%, sitting at quadruple 0201, so very critical support level there. Hopefully we'll hold that because that's kind of pretty important. 20% of the mean sacrifice price, can you believe it? So lots of upside for Pulsechain. The buy and burn though continues to impress. 952.2 billion Pulsechain has been bought up and burned, and of course that is 4.71% of the public supply, so that's still ticking away. Incentive token there at the moment, $1.87, down 3.5%. 1% of that, of course, is the Pulse price. So 2.5% of that is the ratio to Pulse. There's that 51,571 at the moment, but still holding up in a pretty good range. And that assumes that we don't see any changes to the INC and emissions and things like that. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how that plays out in the future. Now, the other thing, of course, we've got the supply at the moment, 39.4 million INC tokens, and that's from the Pulsechain V1 farms. If you're farming there, you get INC tokens, and they're pretty popular apparently. Hex at the moment down 1.7%. So what Hex the second best performer, sitting at 47 hundredths of a penny. EHEX, which was up at 1300 of a penny yesterday, is down at 1200 of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX just below 16th of a penny, which it was yesterday, and 59 hundredths of a penny at the moment. So this Hex at the moment still on sale at the moment before it makes its nice big move at some stage, maybe in October. Let's see. So this day 460. Let's have a look at the charts quickly. We can see that we've talked about the macro news, with crypto, but with Pulsechain, of course, we've got our own specific news, particularly the case against Richard Hart, Pulsechain, Pulsechain, and Hex versus the SEC. And we've got our motion to dismiss coming from Richard Hart. It probably won't be made public, just like the other one there from the SEC. But that is coming up inside a week, pretty much a week away. So let's see what happens in that week. It's going to be pretty interesting. We're just going to ride through that probably. If it's not published, right? If it's not published. 7 days to go for that for Richard's dream team lawyers. And you got to feel pretty good. I mean, these guys are the top of the game. They got SEC guys in there as well. So yeah, it's probably, I think it's going to be pretty good. So we might be fairly optimistic there. And of course, Richard talked about that. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see. All right. Let's jump over to the next part, of course, is the actual oral arguments in October. So they're 68 days away. So 22nd of October, that's going to be the oral arguments actually on court. And then, of course, it could take up to 2 or 3 months before we get a judgment on that. So let's see what happens there. Could take up to that long. So that would lead us into November, December, January, somewhere like that. December or January, we might have an answer there. So it could be pretty interesting at the end of the year with the old Pulsechain, depending on how that goes. Now, the other thing, of course, we could get a boost. Obviously, I think we'll get a big boost if Trump wins the US election. And of course, we saw a Fox poll come out today, and it has Trump up 1 point there versus Harris. So that's going to be pretty interesting. We also see battleground states. Trump's winning most of those, except for 1 or 2 of them are going to probably be up for grabs. So we might talk about that again on another session. But that's kind of cool. Obviously, a lot of games are being played by the Harris there and the mainstream media. They're doing lots of setups, lying to the American people to get the votes, pretty much. So we're going to see how that goes. We also saw the terrible squad, if you guys know who the squad are, getting back into power, and that was pretty weird elections as well, with the way the poll results came out. So a lot of shenanigans going to happen in this election. No difference from there, including the big tech platforms, right? All rigging results and all sorts of stuff, trying to move millions of votes. So we've still got that problem out there as well. Democracy is on the line. I mean, honestly, 5th of November, it is all one, and the election is going to have profound impact for decades to come, if not the election of the century. So it's going to be pretty interesting there. All right, we've got what's that? The 15th there. So that's pretty much it on the old Pulse, and good accumulation zone, of course. Pulsechain holding up pretty well, as you can see. It's got the yellow support line. Not going to say too much about this, but it's still holding up pretty much at 2,000. Pretty important. We bounced from that 1,800 mark, and fingers crossed there. And we haven't quite got a pivot yet on the rolling averages here. You can see those two rolling averages not quite gone bullish yet, but it's looking in the right direction at the moment. So good pickup here at 2,000 for Pulsechain. Incentive token ratio, of course, just dropping a little bit today. And we can see that dropping back into the middle of the range. But man, farming on Pulsechain has been a dream, and of course it's right in that middle zone there, looking pretty good. Yeah, if we see any change with the ownership contract of the INC, then we the Master Chief contract, if it gets changed into the DAO, that could be pretty exciting, and people might like that. And of course, the emission rate as well in farms could cause some interesting moves there as well. I don't expect that right now, but definitely just thing to think about. PHEX, of course, not going to say too much about this. 4,700 penny, just another good zone for buying with the old PHEX, as you can see in the chart there. Pretty much cheap as chips right now to sell. That's pretty much like a good opportunity to pick up a lot of volume. EHEX as well, pretty much similar line there, but definitely up over the last week or so. So a little bit of opportunity there as well, just like PHEX. Moving to the derivatives, we've got Hedron at the moment up 5% on Ethereum, and we've got Hedron up 2% on Pulsechain, and then we've got a couple of the Maximus Hex mining pools. Trio the 3-year, Dicky the 10-year, they're up 1 or 2%, so a little bit of movement there. Moving to stables, well, yesterday PDI was up a lot yesterday, and PDI had quite a big move there. This is a speculative stable, so it still has done a big U-turn. It got very close to 1 cent. Remember back here on the 6th of April, got to what, about 92, 93 hundredth of a penny, but got rejected and has come back down. And what happened there? I'm not sure what's happened there, but come back down, and you can see where it is at the moment. We break that down, and it's got pretty much at the bottom at 12 hundredth of a penny. So it came a long way down, and now it's back up at 18 hundredth of a penny here. Is it starting to make its move back up? That's the question you got to ask yourself. That's on PDI. And that's pretty much it. Those USDC pretty stable there. What else there? Coast has drifted down. These are the actual big stables. Coast has drifted down to 97 cents, even with the good news of their new banking partner, and getting their services back up there. USD Tether, or actually PXDC, 99 cents. What else there? USDL 98.5 cents, and the USDC there. Oh, no, that's not the one I'm looking for. HexDC, sorry, at $1. So HexDC actually doing the best there with Hex as the backing asset, right? That liquidity for. Moving over to influencer coins, man, there's been a little bit of drama about influencer coins. Of course, we're no drama channel, but there's been some Twitter spaces there around the Maddie Allen token and liquidity. So it's been an issue there. At the moment, the only one that's up is SolidX. And of course, this is the one we talked about yesterday with Eric from DragonX. And of course, they're building a big game on top of SolidX. And, that SolidX is run by Randy Alassi's whale friend called Fire Whale. And that's at $15.40. So this could be a really good pickup. It's at 1% at the moment, but that might be something later in the year, perhaps. But definitely can rally before then. But maybe later in the year when that game possibly could come out by then. So let us see how that goes. Some food for thought there. So let's go over to Pulsechain. Have a look at the total opportunity here. Pulsechain, we've had 8.9 million in weekday volume, so very low. We can all appreciate that's pretty low. And we want to get back over 25 million at least. We've got 162,000 transactions at the moment. Be good to get back over 400,000 transactions, kind of where we want to get there. And the total, the best ranking performers at the moment. Looks like we've got some new token here called Hexkin Scumbags, and they pop up all over the place. So that's one there. Leonidas, which has been around for a while, up 44%. PDCC, one of the better ecosystems in my opinion, with the DAO reflection ecosystem. The Grays currency there up 8.7%. Pika is up 7%, been around for a while as well. and King Pui here making a resurrection because they had problems with their first liquidity, right? And they had to reset up King Pui. So that's back up to 105k in liquidity there. So it looks like it's doing a bit better in Kings too. So let's have a quick look at that chart. So that is the daily chart. Yeah, performing pretty well now that it's got ahead of that liquidity. It's got 105k in there. What else is looking interesting here? Yeah, so that's back up there, 127 million Kings 2 in there. So King Pui there, part of the Randy Alasky token ecosystem. A lot of tokens now. They got 10 to 15 tokens, something like that. And that is pretty much that. What else there? Icarus there, up 4%. So we've got a little bit of movements there amongst those. Those are kind of the better performers on the old Pulsechain. Let me take it back to the watch list. We're going to have a quick look at Pulse Mafia as well. But before we do that, let's get into the rest of the results. Gas prices at the moment, 175,000 beats, so pretty cheap. 0.2 of a penny for a Pulsex swap, 100 of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, and 400 of a penny for a PSC20 transfer. Ethereum at the moment is still low at 2 Gwei, and we're still 831 times cheaper than Ethereum. That Proto-Dank sharding has really made an impact if it looks at it, and the layer 2s rallies like base and stuff like that. Optimism, those things there taking away the shine away from Ethereum. Obviously cheap gas at the moment. 48,502 validators, 1.55 trillion pulse off the market stake there. And the bridge, let's have a look at the bridge because we're loving looking at the bridge here. Kind of a health check. We're sitting at 92.5 million, pretty similar, I think, to what we had yesterday. Let me bring up my screenshot. Actually, we had more yesterday. We had 93.7 million yesterday. So we actually are down 1.25 million on the old bridge, but still looking better. We obviously want to get back over 100 million, but that's something for another day. So looking at yesterday, we got pretty much the same amount of DAI, 27.5 million. ETH value is, what is it? ETH value is down 650,000 on ETH value. USDC is down 175,000. USD Tether is pretty much the same, actually up slightly, about 4,000 bucks. EHEX is down, 200, maybe 300, $350,000 is EHEX. With that little price movement, doesn't take much to move EHEX around, does it? Imagine on the way up. I mean, EHEX goes back up strongly. Man, that number's going to get big. It's going to get big. All right, so we got the Coast at the moment, pretty similar to yesterday, and Wrap Bitcoin is down 22.60, 70,000, down $70,000 on Bitcoin. There we go, and that is the bridge. Some of the movements there. Now let's make a snapshot of this one so we can do it again tomorrow because I'm kind of liking that. It's kind of a good way of looking at it. Let's take a snapshot of that. Actually, let me just scroll up a little bit here so I can get the US dollar amount as well. That is the bridge. So down about 1.25, did I say? I think that's what I said. Down 1.25 million. Those are the key drivers there at the moment. Let's put that over there for tomorrow's show. And that is it. And what are we on? We're on day 461 on the old Pulsechain. Let's see who else has jumped in here. And we're going to get into a bit of Mafia today as well. We're actually at the Syndicate at the moment is doing a big campaign on X Pro platform led by our very own Don Archie, as well as Max Payne and others there doing a great job. If you are on X, do retweet, leave comments, share. This is a big campaign from the Syndicate family to spread the word about Mafia and the Syndicate family, which I'm a part of the leadership team. So definitely get out there and spread the word. It makes a big deal. We're trying to build up the audience for that, obviously. Do our part playing a role. Obviously, we did a live stream last week with Archie the Don. We've got probably be doing another one next week. Yeah, we're going to keep going on there and playing our part in building up the #1 GameFi on Pulsechain, of course, Mafia, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Let's see here. No, that's it. We've got no other comments, so I'm going to go back into talk about Mafia now. So Mafia at the moment is sitting at 11/100th of a penny on the old Pulsechain. Let's have a look here. I don't know why the BNB's dropped off, but it has. And what we've got there, $3,900 in volume. We've got 17 makers, 116,000 liquidity, or 1.1 million market cap. And like I say, still in this pretty much accumulation zone here. A pretty good buying at 1/10 of a penny or above 11/100 penny. So it's a good chance to pick up some Mafia on Pulsechain at the moment. Obviously on BNB, which is probably 10 times cheaper at the moment. We can see that we've had a long break here since our NFT marketplace phase 5 update and all the sub updates in there, including allegiances and player and family plus. So it's been a while. We know that Jacob was ill during this period here when the price was going down, and also the team was on holiday, but they've been back on deck for what, maybe 4 or 5 days, maybe something like that, maybe a week even. So expecting more things from them. Now we did have some updates in the actual Mafia today, so let's check that out. And you can see at the moment the leading families on the Pulsechain side is let's have a look here. Let me just switch on there. We've got to sign all these things. There's the Syndicate still holding the lead there at 511,800. Of course, it's proud there. We've got our very own leader there, Capone. Gearheads there, Gifford Ware and Crypto Kool-Aid sitting at 506,000. So it's just sitting with a bit of a gap there. What's it, about 5,000 worth? Salamanca's in number 3, 175,000. The Yakuza at 158,000, and the Hustlers there at 113,000. Of course, the Directorate there, the number 1 allegiance on the old Pulsechain side, and for Mafia, and that's all the rest of the families there. Now, what we're going to say, I think we're going to look in quickly to the Syndicate. That we saw some updates here that we have seen on the page today. Big shout out to Archie Don. And let's have a look here. I think they're down at the where were they? I saw them here. Oh, yes, here they are here. So business objects, it shows you this has just popped up. So we've got protection now. That showed up there. Slots have showed up, and effectiveness have showed up. I'm not sure if the profit total was there already, but that's in there as well. So that must be new too. So the map must be getting closer and closer. We've got these new features around all the businesses. So that's pretty cool. So the slot that will be on the map, the protection level, their effectiveness, how much yield and things like that they're getting, and of course the profit total there as well that you're making. So kind of cool. That is a little bit of update there. Now the other thing, of course, obviously you can buy crates or keys at the moment. That's still $20. You can purchase them with PulseX incentive EDI, and you can use them to open up crates. And you can, some of the big prizes there. Mafia, still got 38.2 million Mafia, so no one's won any Mafia recently. And we've still got all the keys there. And we know that some people have won 50 game keys, a couple of people. Winning 100 game keys would be pretty mind-blowing. That's probably out there as well. OG NFTs, obviously popular as well as many of the other in-game assets. So still ticking away there. But the big news, I think, is the markets keeps crushing it, doing some good stuff there. $250,000 in value, 5,600 trades, and 111 million pulse in fees. So it's doing pretty well, the old market. It's a secondary market. Think of the crates as the primary market, and the markets as a secondary market there for trading assets. And of course, the vault is looking absolutely spectacular. Look at that, 5.13 billion pulse is now issued, and of course in the vault, $190,900 at the current price of pulse. So imagine pulse doubling, tripling, quadrupling. That value is going to go up and away. Now, if we combine that with the BNB chain, we're sitting over $250,000 in the vault at the moment for the families at the current prices of BNB and Pulse. So you can know things can turn around pretty quickly. A $250,000 vault can become a $1 million vault very quickly in crypto. So there we go. That is looking pretty good. And you can see the contributions at the moment on Pulsechain. Taxman is sitting at number 2, $82,000 from the buying and selling of Mafia on Pulsechain. The keys are number 1, and we're sitting at 105,000 in key value. So that's been very popular, opening up crates and getting game assets and winning prizes. That's 55%, so doing pretty well. And then marketplace down here at $4,180, and of course that's been successful, but is the lower contributor out of those into the vault. So you can sort of see the way the tokenomics has been set up. Pretty cool. Now, if you haven't read the game wiki, I encourage you to do that. So that is the game wiki here. You can check that out. And we're currently on phase 5. We have completed the vault requirements for the Pulse Mafia at 5 billion. So it has been completed. But the next stage is the Mafia map. That is going to be huge. We can already see those little updates that we saw in the family thing around business assets. That is a bit of a teaser leading into this Mafia update there. So kind of cool. Cool things are moving along. And you can definitely, check out all the details here in the Wikipedia about the game. And it's a sort of a living, breathing document, and it's a kind of cool to follow. So that is pretty much it on the Mafia. Obviously on BNB, we also have BNB Mafia there. Let's have a quick look at the families, and we'll have a quick look at some of the differences as well. So the top family, Original Gangsters, number 1, Syndicate number 2, and Mugnow's number 3 there, Yakuza number 4, and the Illuminati number 5. They're all the guaranteed payouts levels. And then, of course, 6, 7, and 8 are the conditional payout levels there. We've got a couple other families in the mix there. But 17 families all together. Looking at the crates a little different because this businesses are still there. We've still got 37 of the businesses, and a lot of them will be the slot machines, roulettes, and bullet factories. So a very good chance of winning some big games here. Obviously, 50 million Mafia. No one's won any Mafia on BNB side. And we've also obviously got the OG NFTs and the keys there. Some of the top categories there for buying keys. And of course, you can buy keys with BNB, USDC, and USD Tether. Kind of cool. Obviously, you got the secondary market as well. A lot less activity at this stage than compared to Pulsechain, but still getting some decent numbers going through there, and different opportunities there as well. Finally, the vault and the vault there, 127 BNB and $66,800 worth. So, well, if you add that to Pulsechain, over $250,000, looking very, very good indeed. Is the old Mafia. Now, obviously, you can join the family. If you want to join the syndicate, you can do that. And, of course, you can apply to join. I think we have a $100 joining fee, but it's going to be well worth it. You're going to earn Pulse and BNB on both chains. And, of course, there's lots of opportunities there. Let me just go to the X there just to see if I've got the update. So if you want to join the Mafia family, the syndicate, the number 1 family there, definitely check it out. That is the link there. To join, apply to join the syndicate. So apply to join the syndicate. And we just capitalize that. Join the syndicate. The number 1 GameFi program game on Pulsechain at the moment, and probably going to be for a long time. That is the one to join there. That's the link there, and we welcome you to the family. We're going to be keeping as a leading family. We are the most feared family on Mafia, that's for sure. And for good reason. But we're going to be, keep an open mind and allow people to join in. Some families might have a closed system that don't really let people join, but we do. We let them join. So we try to keep that. It's crypto after all. We want people to have fun. People have a chance of play to earn, and it's going to be good. Prices of Mafia are really good entry price at right now too. So that's also a bonus. So if you want to pick some of that up, you can. There's 2 different charts, of course. You can check that out. But this is the chart for Mafia on Pulsechain. I'll post that as well. You guys, all you need to do is pick up 2,000 minimum to set up a player. So it's super cheap to do that. Apply to join the syndicate thereafter. Kind of cool. Did I post the Mafia page? Maybe I should post that too. Let me just post Mafia as well. I'm going to switch it to the Pulsechain side. And that is the Mafia page for the actual platform. And like I say, we're in pre-launch phases at the moment, so you have to have a bit of patience until they get to phase 12, which is when the game goes live. So nice and early. Well, basically accumulate your wealth, get strong, and the more share of the profits you're going to earn. And then when the game starts, you rank up and you make even more profits. That's basically the idea there. And of course, it's going to be fun. Going to be fun to play. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We got Blair's in the house there. Superman is the GOAT. Hey, Blair, appreciate that. Big shout out to you. Hope you're doing well there. We got V as well. Are you keeping an eye on Titanex and friends? Yeah, definitely doing that. We had an interview yesterday with DragonX founder Eric. So if you haven't checked it out, V, check it out. And I did mention it earlier that those prices have been soaring overnight again, with more influencers covering it, and of course people buying up DragonX versus Titanex, and Titanex is about to be amazing over the next two months in particular as it ramps up there. It's going to be fun. All that inflation comes out in September. It's going to be pretty bullish for October, but it's also going to be bullish in September. There's a lot of things happening there. New protocols, the Vortex, things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun there, V. Trent's in the house. Hey, Trent. Hey. Trent is here. Trent. Hey, Trent. Hope you're doing well. What else are we going to say there? Wookie says, how big T-Man says, Wookie. Hey, Wookie. Hope you're enjoying it in Raro. Having a good time. Well, let's jump over to, so that's our Mafia coverage. Number one GameFi on Pulsechain, and of course also playing on BNB. Let's quickly check the results for the Hex on Pulsechain. What day was that? 18. So we've got the last 2 days, which is kind of cool. We finally got the data out. So I missed yesterday's data for day, what was it? 459 and 460. So 459, we had 7.134 for day 460, which is just finished. 7.149 hex per T-share there. So those are two good results for the old hex. What else there? The T-shares, we were a down day and then an up day. So we're sitting at just under 9,180,000 T-shares in the ownership pool. And those owners get the rewards. We had pretty modest penalties both days, but a bit of a pickup today at 419,000. So total rewards is 65,629,000 get distributed to all those T-share holders there. Not too bad. Still growth in liquid holders. A bit of a move in stakers. Looks like we had a huge number increase here, 162. I'm not sure what drove that, but this says 162 miners today. And that's a pretty big number. We haven't seen that for a while. So it might be some individual got lots of different T-shares that have been doing. I don't know, big ladder or something. We got 123,321 current miners at the moment. That's pretty much how we rock and roll. Pretty good day in miners. Wow, stand out there. Maybe some ultimate ladder. Maybe it's what's that guy's name? I was just trying to remember. I can't remember his name. Damn it, forgot his name. That's really funny. All right, let's jump over to it. So that's pretty much it for today. 46 minutes. That's pretty good. Big thumbs up from V as well. Yeah, doing pretty well. The old Titan X and Dragon X. And of course, we're looking patiently for Pulsechain to have its day in the sun as well. Magic Carp Ride and all that. That's something for the future. And yeah, good times, good times. Now, you've always got to have a good diversified portfolio, but you're always trying to pick the winners, right? And that kind of the unicorn strategy, we call it. Definitely something to think about. Now, if you want to get into stuff like that, get into our Discord Strategy Club, $35 a month. We're looking at multi-chain opportunities, and they are going to be really good. So definitely join up today and get into it. All right, I think we're going to finish there. Let's play out the Magic Carp Ride video on the way out. And enjoy yourself. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. We'll be covering obviously Thursday's results for the stock market, which will include the retail stats as well as the what was it, I forgot the employment one that we were going to cover. Just forgot the name of it now, but that's for tomorrow, and we'll see how the markets go. Are we going to get another green day for crypto? Is it going to turn in our favor? Hope so. That's where we're at the moment. All right, take care, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And I'll catch you again on the next show tomorrow. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.